Hey guys, this is Otaku Central here today to bring you another Sims 4 build. This will be hopefully part 1 of 3 of this modern house build here. Um, since me getting Sims 4, I haven't really made a lot of buildings mainly because I suck at it, but today I decided to give it a go. So in today's house build, I decided, you know what, for my first house I'd want to make a modern house, mainly because I really love modern architecture. And yeah, so that's where we begin. I decided to build this house in Willow Creek, and you may be asking, why in Willow Creek? With all the older looking houses, why would you plop down a modern house there? Well, I'll tell you. It's because nowadays, more so in my neighborhood, you see a lot more modern buildings popping up in older house looking neighborhoods. I live in an older neighborhood, so a lot of the houses are look a lot more are look a lot more dated, and more so now I see a lot more modern houses, semi-detached townhouses coming to be built, and I decided, you know what? Let's try and mimic my neighborhood, I guess. So, as you just saw, I deleted the first house there. What's because while I was building it, I didn't know what I wanted the house to actually look like there. I did know that I wanted to go for a modern type of feel to it, a type of look. And yeah, so here we go here. I decided, like all houses nowadays, needs to be two-story houses here. Um, the ground floor, there is a medium-sized wall, so like there are taller walls. You'll see later on when I start to furnish the house here. Um, one thing I do love about modern houses is that they do have that little bit of that little bit of an overlap, or I don't know, a little bit of a extension part there. You know, like all modern houses, in how I think anyways, they have slanted roofs. Um, I'll be doing that as well for the kitchen, which is in that little part at the back of the house there. Um, Building this house, I didn't really have much to reference off of, except for what, I thought a modern house looked like. And to me, modern houses have, in my opinion, look have very weird shapes. For some reason, I don't know what was up with the frames there. It kept dropping a lot, but it gets better. Hopefully, second part two, which I finished recording, should be less framey. But yeah, building a modern house, I decided, you know what? Modern houses typically have darker colors. They have weird shapes, right? They have a lot of windows, which is what you'll see with this build here. I do throw down a lot of windows because in because I think anyway, if you want a modern houses have more windows than a traditional house. Like my house right now only has a good handful of windows, but if you go to more modern parts of wherever you live, whether that be in the city or whatever, you'll see modern houses with a lot more windows, a lot more windows to let in natural light, to give a better view of their surroundings, which is why modern houses generally built in uh, are generally built in places that have a good view. Right now, you see I'm putting downstairs and a little access to the balcony area there. The windows there, I do change into one-way windows from detectives. A career there, so you may need to download that somehow if you want to build off here. Um, for the part one, I do only work on the ground floor there, but I do lay out what I want the second floor to be. Second floor is a two-bedroom, one bath kind of thing. There is no bathroom or washroom in the living room, coincidentally. Why? I don't know. I thought I didn't know where to put it, and it didn't really work with the layout I was going for in the end. You'll see later on here. And here I am trying to figure out what I want the outside to look. I really wanted to go for a very modern kind of look, modern colors, and like I said before, to me, I think modern houses here have darker colors incorporated, and yeah. So those are the windows I do end up going with for the top half. I do end up changing a lot of the colors for the outside here. What you see now is the final version of the outside, as of right now anyway. I still have to record part 3 where I work on the upstairs and maybe hopefully the backyard. We'll see. These videos take a long time to record, especially or a long time to do because you're building for a good few hours. And yeah. So right now I'm just changing all the colors to match the color scheme of the exterior, and soon, hopefully, you'll see I start working on the kitchen. Man, I don't really know how I want that part at the back there to look yet. I'm not too sure. Um, Also, since we have a lot of windows, a lot of big windows. It's really hard to find curtains that actually fit those windows and make it look kind of good. Kind of good. It was really weird, and I spent a lot of time just looking through curtains to see which ones fit. You'll see which ones I decide on at the end. So now I am designing this kitchen. This kitchen is it's very black, white, and gray. You'll see, but I think it all works really, really well together. Works really, really well together. You see now here, I use a lot of black and white stuff. I really like that oven there. I thought it looked really, really cool. As you can tell already, it's very black, white, and gray. I wanted to put curtains on those windows there, but in the end, I thought it looked really, 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 really weird with them clipping the counters and stuff. So I decided to decorate like that. Have a little overhead thing, have a little pots and plants. I really wanted to incorporate a divider to split up the room a bit. So I experimented with a lot of them, which you'll see later on. Um, Also because the living room does have taller, taller walls here. Putting Having counters or um, having those little cabinets at the top really, really looked really, really weird. So I do end up putting a little bit of. You'll see. I don't know how I did it, but you'll see. I say that a lot. Here I experimented with putting islands. I do settle on an island, but it's not. It doesn't go widthwise. It goes lengthwise, as you see there. Um, I do think the kitchen is once I finish it, the kitchen looks the best. Looks the best in the house. I do really, really, really like how it turned out. One thing I did notice about myself though is that once I design the kitchen, I tend to cater a lot of the ground floor there to look like or to be styled in close coordination with the kitchen here. And it's just me, decorating, making that wall look a lot more full because it's a very big blank wall, and I didn't like how it looked there, so I decided to fill it up with stuff. You'll see later on, and I fill it up with those awnings or whatever those things are, those glass dividers. I thought they looked really, really cool, and I thought they really, really fit, honestly. There, I use those divider things. I do use them later on in the build, as like a display piece. You'll see later on. I don't know where exactly they start showing up here, but I do know they use them. I don't know if they're in part one or in part two. I forget already. But we'll see. Um, Here I wanted to have some separation from the from the kitchen, dining room, into the rest of the house here, which is why we start having those dividers there. You see, split up the room, and since the kitchen is very, very dark, black, white, and gray, you can't really have a black, white, and gray house. It's kind of weird having just a black, white, and gray house. So here is my attempt to try to incorporate some color. You know, I really like those walls. I think they look really, really nice. I definitely want my house in real life to have those kinds of walls. I think they look really, really cool here. And now I'm just, trying to match what I place inside the house now with those brown walls. Um, just on that wall there, I do end up putting a lot of pictures, two pictures, boom. To add some extra color, you gotta have some color somewhere, somehow. Have a little thing there, a corner little, like, I don't know how you say it, desk counter thing, where I do put, I think, a plant, I believe, a plant? Do I put a plant there? I don't know. Also, see, I'm just going through a lot of those wallpapers to see if I want to put an accent wall, you know. But since I liked those, what I have there for, what I have there now for walls, I decided. I think later on I do change the rest of the, the downstairs to look like that. Here, since we have that too wide wall, I decided, hey, let's put a fireplace there. But and I also wanted to put seating in front of the fireplace, but since the fireplace was so close to the dining table and to the entrance of the home here, I decided not to. But later on, you'll see I divide up in part two. I divide up a lot more of this house and a lot more of the a lot more of the living room area here, and I do make it work in the end here. Awesome. Now you'll see later on, I'll start experimenting with the blinds, because it's like privacy, guys, privacy. You need privacy, right? Can't have big, large windows without any privacy, right? And since they're so close together, you can't really place blinds in the corner there. So I only place blinds on two windows there, right there. See them? Bang. And then have a little entertainment area, little black white entertainment area. I thought all the colors worked really well together, little bits of color here and there. Thought it really worked together here. I do end up changing that carpet to a black and white carpet, I think. Not too sure. Yeah, that carpet right there, I think. Yeah, that guy. I really like that carpet. It looks really, really cool. And there, just I do put counters there, kitchen counters there, to and I have a lot of books and stuff there to make it look like it's been used. Have a little bit of surround sound all over the place. And yeah, that's what the living room looks like so far. I do end up changing a lot of it in the part two, second episode, whatever you want to call it. I also do find out how to turn off the grid in the second episode when I start working on the basement. Which, yeah, this place will have a basement, which you did not know until now. So if you watched until the end of the episode, now you know. This is kind of like a three-section house: the living room, a ground floor, upstairs, and basement. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll